in a welterweight contest. Your referee in charge of the action, Emil Teed, and your timekeeper, Alex McKenzie. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, officially weighing in at 69.3 kilos, making an impressive 115 professional appearances inside the ring tonight, wearing black and white shorts. From Hyde, Lancashire, please welcome Dale, the choir boy, Arrowsmith. And now introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, officially weighing in at 67.9 kilos. He brings to the ring an undefeated professional record of 7-0 with 2 KOs. Tonight wearing black, green and gold shorts from Leixlip, County Kildare, Ireland. He's a former BUI Celtic Super Lightweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Senan.
And we return for our fourth fight of the night here with recent BUI Celtic Light Welterweight Champion Senan Kelly staying busy against veteran English journeyman Dale Arrowsmith. Disappointment for Senan not to get an Irish title fight over the line, but was unable to find a willing dance partner whose, I suppose, schedule lined up. So he stays busy here, but he'll be looking to just get his job done here and then move on to big fights, because he got a taste of it there with his BUI Celtic title win over Jake Tinklin in the most recent JB promotion show.
He did, and it's somewhat odd when you hear him say former BUI Celtic title champion. Obviously, the main event tonight is fighting for the title that Senan held just a couple of months ago. And as you mentioned, he was set on an Irish title fight, and from our understanding, it was close to being made, but you know, these things can happen in boxing. You know, politics play a part, schedules clash, and he's made it very clear in interviews this week. He's aware this is a keep busy fight, but he is hell bent on his next fight being for the Irish title.
Dale Arrowsmith, probably the definition of a tough English journeyman. This is his 115th fight. Only been stopped 7 times. He's gone the distance with main event Tony McGlynn, Daniel O'Sullivan, Paddy Walsh. He drew with Dominic Donegan. Like, he's a tough man. He maybe doesn't have a huge amount of attacking ambition, but like, he will be there at the end of 6 rounds. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, the guys out there, if you've seen, they're getting stoppages over Dale Arrowsmith, you know, they're few and far between. I believe he's fought both of our fighters in the main event tonight, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years apart. You know, he as you've said there, he has 6, 7, maybe even 8 Irish opponents on his record, you know. 115 plus fights. I'm not sure of the number of rounds, but it's clearly in the hundreds. This guy knows how to make his way around the ring. He will give you a good workout, and I suppose if you get a little bit too ahead of yourself, he might teach you a lesson.
Yeah, this is his 8th fight of the year. He had close to 30 last year. He has 3 on the schedule beyond this. He gets in, does the rounds, and then goes on to fight next week. So nothing too aggressive, nothing too dangerous. Doesn't want to get stopped, doesn't want to get cut. He just wants to get in and get out, and it's up to Senan Kelly to try unlock him. You see there with the tight guard, and Senan just trying to sneak around it with hooks to the body.
Oh no, true, and like, that's a valuable lesson for any, you know, up and coming fighter to try and learn. How do you get around the guy? How do you unlock him? How do you catch him with a shot that'll get him out there when he has no intention of giving you even a smidgen of an opportunity? You know, the way he covers up. I suppose the only issue is, you know, when you see guys with 3 fights lined up, you know what you're going to get. The kind of vibe of a fighter who, the better the opponent is, the better we're going to see from Senan.
Exactly. He knows he's levels above Dale Arrowsmith here, and it's just about getting the job done and not letting the concentration drop, because as you say, Dale Arrowsmith isn't the most ambitious opponent, but he's experienced enough to know, and he is.
You know, giving a smile to Senan there, you know, after a 3-punch combination, just letting him know You know, I know you're trying to break me down here. You know, the experience someone like that Arrowsmith has garnered over 100+ fights.
It's probably counterintuitive as well, but if you go about stopping Dale Arrowsmith, it's probably the fighters who don't try, because when you go looking for the stoppage, you very rarely get it, and especially against a tricky and coy opponent like Dale Arrowsmith.
Oh, certainly. You know, this is a man. People will look at the losing side of the record, the level of experience he has inside that ring, and if you go for it, he knows exactly how to manage it.
He'll tie you up. He'll see the shots coming. It's the fluid shots that you don't see coming, and Senan is just staying calm and focused here. He isn't losing the head.
There you go, straight away, tied up, turned you. He's not letting you let those shots go. I think Senan knows this, and he knows he needs to keep it long and straight. You'll see that rare kind of guard there from Dale Arrowsmith, where his hands are actually open inside the gloves.
And why is that? Is that just to try make the gloves bigger than they are?
Effectively, he's just covering more space. That he's pushing his hands up there. He's getting them on his forehead. We saw Alan White in the previous fight, kind of reddening on the forehead. We've seen it all night. He's not getting caught with those punches. The gloves are covering right up the entire face, and the elbows are tucked in.
His arms are covering an enormous amount of his body. It's like your body sparring with him almost.
Oh, they are indeed, and look, that's the experience he's got. Senan is aware this is a key busy one for him. Get under the lights, and more importantly, keep your name relevant. You don't want to have 7, 8, 9 months of inactivity. People forget about you in a matter of days in this sport.
Yeah, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but I think a big part of tonight as well will be Senan's interviews afterwards with the likes of Matt Meehan, Kieran McIver and Stephen Morton, just to keep the name out there and maybe mention a couple of other names.
Yeah, and look, Senan is here tonight, if we're being honest, with an eye to the main event. He should Dave Ryan win the main event, I'm sure that'll be the next fight for Senan. Should it be Tony McGlean? With the guys being club mates, it's probably unlikely, but there's been talk about former European Amateur Champion Ray Moylett being eligible to fight for the Irish title with Senan main event. But I think Senan is going to make it his business to fight for the Irish title, and it sounds like our promoter here tonight has every intention of delivering that fight. We move into the third round, and Senan is getting his work out here. Dale Arrowsmith offering very little, unfortunately.
Not smothering his work though, Senan, which is to be commended as well, because this is, as you mentioned, the come down from the Jake Tinkler fight. This is the exact sort of fight where you look.
Yeah, this is the kind of fight where you potentially believe your own hype, and you come unstuck against a guy who has a lot of losses on the record, but has so much experience. I think Senan is he's keeping Arrowsmith honest here. He's letting them know, if you let your hands go, you're going to pay.
Should also note as well that Senan is coming up in weight here for this fight, which adds another dimension to it as well. Dale Arrowsmith more used to maybe light middleweight. Senan operating, well, his target goal is light welterweight. He won the title there, so probably makes a stoppage even less likely.
It does indeed. When you're in those clinches, that's why Senan needs to maybe avoid them. You'd be wasting energy. As you've said, Arrowsmith used to being in there with kind of, super welters, potentially middleweights. These took 29 fights last year. That's a fight, some weeks back to back. he could have 3 fights in a month sometimes. That's a guy who's fit, he's strong. You know, as we see here, he's completely covered up. There's very little getting through, but Senan is getting that walkout. And he's trying some nice shots here. You know, I've seen double hooks to the body followed by an uppercut.
As you may have heard in the introductions, Dale Arrowsmith, nicknamed the Choir Boy, even after 29 fights last year as well. His face isn't too marked up. He doesn't look like a boxer who's had over 100 professional bouts. He keeps himself as undamaged as humanly possible for a man who is fighting, as you say, sometimes 3 or 4 times a month.
No, absolutely, and I mean, it's a valuable part of professional boxing, the job that the likes of Dale Arrowsmith does. But you know, granted, it can be unexciting at times. But we've seen those hooks to the body again. You know, Senan is walking, and these are shots we may see in the potential Irish title fight.
And like, let's face it is a skill to be as good at surviving as Dale Arrowsmith is, and it is a skill. And if you're skilled enough to do it, you can make a career out of it.
Oh, it certainly is, and it is something you can earn a significant amount of extra cash from. But yeah, it wouldn't be for me, and I'm not sure you'd fancy it yourself. It's difficult, all right. I'm sure there's been some sore mornings.
Yeah, one boxer size plastics out of me. I don't think I'd be able to do 115 pro fights.
You know, he lets Senan let his hands go, and he immediately pushes him off. You know, that's
yeah, he does have the physical, like as we mentioned in the last round, he does have the physical strength that he can just, I suppose, just take Senan shots on the arms and then just, yeah, as you say, shove him off.
Seeing that combo from Senan again, you know, right hook to the body, left hook to the body, and then a right uppercut.
But the shorts are high and the elbows are well placed from Arrowsmith.
They're tucked in. Oh, Arrowsmith letting some words off there to Senan. Are we seeing him try to go with him a little bit? And just a little reminder there. You know, a man who's earned the stripes in the ring, you know, he's been a little bit vocal. I'm sure he knows exactly what buttons to press against particular types of opponents.
And you do see Senan starting to step it up here a little bit in this round. He is pushing. I don't know whether it's frustration or this is the game plan, but he is maybe not much landed in damaging shots, but he is throwing certainly a lot more and putting the pressure on Dale Arrowsmith.
He is. I feel with Senan, he probably has only got the third or fourth gear today, and you know, he has a 5th and potentially a 6th. He's, like I said, one of those guys who'll fight to the level of the opponent and is going to constantly surprise us. You know, a switch of stances there from Senan. You know, he's trying his own little tricks in here tonight.
Just mix it up as much as possible. Because I suppose the left hook and the big overhand right there, the shots that Dale Arrowsmith is expecting, that he sees from your everyday prospects.
No, certainly
week after week.
You know, we've seen Senan trying to break the guard with the uppercuts, which is probably, you know, a little tactic, because he knew, I'm not getting around the sides with this guy. He has a complete shell, to be honest, but it's impressive.
And we did see another left hook there from Arrowsmith as well, who is being forced to throw just a little bit more, just to manage this fight, just to keep Senan Kelly honest.
He is indeed, and you know, he's on the bike a little bit more this round than he had been. There was another left hook. You know, he's heard the Claxton. Big smile from Arrowsmith, you know. We see our main event fighter, Tony McGlynn, just come out upstairs now for a quick look. You know, he's one hand wrap on, you know, I'm sure he's confident. And he's having a look at the former holder of the title that he fights for tonight.
That's Tony McGlynn against Dave Ryan. That is going to be some fight later tonight.
Senan keeping it, you know, behind the jab, and tactical here now, short uppercuts as well. I'm sure he's noted the success of some of his uppercuts so far in the fight.
Jabs the body there from Senan Kelly, bit of a mixing it up.
Arrowsmith firmly up on his toes now. You know, he's moving around the ring. He's probably had enough of taking punches now tonight.
It must be so frustrating, as you say, Arrowsmith with those big long arms that you're always told go to the body to make the hands drop, but
yeah,
the hands are taking the head and the body.
The target is covered effectively here. You know, but nice jab from Senan followed by a smile from Arrowsmith. He's acknowledging the punches. Left to the body there, you know. He's going to try keep Senan honest, and he will take his opportunities. You know, this is a man well skilled. Have to say, I'm impressed at Arrowsmith's ability to take punches on the arms and the gloves. They must be tired at this stage.
He's a well-oiled machine. Giggles there at Senan Kelly, who smirks back in acknowledgement.
Absolutely. Now, this is a man who's he's probably seen it all before. And there we see, you know, he'll punch with you in the exchanges, and that's when you have to be careful.
Yeah, Dale Arrowsmith's going to be one of those guys who in 20 years, when he's long retired, he'll be able to look back over his resume and he'll probably have fought dozens of British champions, maybe a couple of world champions in there as well. Lots of central area. Like, if you're anyone in English boxing from probably light welterweight up to super middleweight, there's a good chance he will have fought Dale Arrowsmith.
At some point, there's 100 plus opponents who've done it, so it's a large field to pick from. You know, a lot of averages will tell you there's some very successful guys in there, and you know, Dale provides, you know, learning fights, but he's learning too.
Heavy shot there from Senan Kelly, and upcut to the body, and it is opening up a little bit in this round. This is probably been the closest to a competitive round, you could maybe argue.
Yeah, it's probably the most active we've seen from Arrowsmith. There was a number of left hooks. Smile to the commentators there from Dale Arrowsmith, you know, a true road warrior. You know, he's effectively a human puzzle in their jaw, and you know, fighters are trying to solve it. And each part of that puzzle, very few have solved it all, but each part that you solve will stand to you in future fights.
Just a very, very tricky man, as we've said multiple times here. Well, I suppose you see, this is why he is constantly used as well, because he's aggressive but not too aggressive. He throws shots that are well schooled. He isn't gonna cut you with the head. He isn't gonna, like, he looks the part. He is your sort of your ideal journeyman if you're looking to build a show and you want a guy just to get a solid few rounds.
No, he is. He's your token journeyman in the sense of he provides everything you need without I won't say without the dangers, but without the kind of silliness like we see Mr. Saido, who you know has previous for DQs, throws a few elbows, you know, has a bit Kurt Walker.
I don't believe the choir boy has any record of biting opponents, although there's always a chance.
It hasn't been an all-action fight, but you know, good levels of fitness shown by both guys here. You know, no one's breathing heavy. They're walking away, and you know, as I've said, it takes a lot of energy in the clinch there.
Yeah, similar to Kane Lewis earlier. Like, he is getting maybe he isn't getting his boxing brain worked out too much, but he definitely is getting the physical workout here in the wrestling with Dale Arrowsmith.
You know, to give it to Senan, he keeps trying here. He's letting the shots go, and he is trying to unlock that that puzzle, you know.
Yeah, and he'll be aware he has sold tickets here to people, and he wants to put on a show. Whereas, like, he could have easily, if this fight was in England, maybe he would just look to box off the jab. But he is endeavouring to do damage and try do the near impossible and hurt and get Dale Arrowsmith out of there.
Yeah, you know, it's all well and good sparring in the gym, trying some new shots on the pads and on the bags, but Senan's trying them in here tonight against a somewhat live opponent who will keep you honest if you get a little bit, you know, over the top. If you start to believe your own hype. Small bit of redness under Arrowsmith's left eye there. Probably a rare occurrence.
There we have it, 6 rounds between Senan Kelly and Dale Arrowsmith, who share a couple of words after. I think it's friendly enough in there, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, we go to Emil Keating's scorecard. Emil scores about 60-54 in favor of your winner,